There's room for you in our group if you want.
First of all, I think I'm grateful that Neil and Craig gave me a role that could allow for some backstory, that there's some choices that were put on display that as an actor gave me something to do on screen. James, to me, he's not a bad guy. I think that's the cheat that a lot of people could play is to put a mustache on him and make him a villain or a henchman or a thug. To me, James serves to show what happens to good people when they're put in desperate times, and very much like Joel. Like, if we look at Joel in the very beginning, he's just a dad trying to make ends meet, and 20 years later, he's one of the most vicious, ruthless people that we can imagine. And James is very similar to that, and he's very pragmatic. There's nothing really violent about him. Even when he's given the opportunity to kill Ellie, he can't do it, and he has to be goaded on by his peers. He's someone who's a pragmatist. It's like when he shoots, shoot the horse, don't shoot the girl. When they're out looking for her, he says, if we bring her back, she's just another mouth to feed. This is someone who's thinking very much in a pragmatic way. So that's one of the things that keeps him from being David's peer. And David is looking for an equal, and he finds it in Ellie, because not only is she smart and brilliant and capable and resourceful, but she's also got a violent heart. So that's the thing that to me is lacking within James, and one of the reasons why David never looks at him as a peer. So being able to kind of explore that, and how does that fit into every little scene that we do, was a fun task as an actor. One of my favorite scenes is this big scene where everyone's in the dining hall and everyone's eating, and it's the time when we get to see the different side of David. And there's something that happens off camera that no one really got to see. And it was a scene between myself and one of my other scene partners, who I'm looking at everybody in this hall when David says, eat. And these people dive in and they're consuming the most unconscionable meal. And there's this disgust that washes over James as he's watching, what have we become? We have devolved into the worst imaginable versions of ourselves. And then a bowl is put in front of him, and the actor across from me is looking at me. We just decide to have this little one act play between the two of us, and he's like, what are you going to do? And I refuse to eat until I look at David, and David's looking at me like, you too. And this thing that I love that we did get was the second that James takes a bite, this horrible, sickening feeling washes over him, because he realizes that it's sustaining him and maybe even satisfying him. And that to me was like a beautiful little, no dialogue, no anything, just a wonderful little moment to have. Definitely the most challenging was when James meets his demise, because just physically what that took a lot. I really have to applaud Bella, because Bella had to do most of the heavy lifting in that, literally with a cleaver, and making sure that she hit me in a certain spot on my neck that was wired for that gag to happen. And I did not expect to be in prosthetics as long as I was. A lot of credit goes to our incredible effects team and our prosthetics team, makeup especially. And I sat in a pool of cold blood a lot. But ultimately, I think what you get on screen is something that's enjoyable and provocative to watch. I didn't take any props home for me, but fortunately, if you can look behind me there, Neil Druckmann gave me a prop from episode 2, which is the lovely lighter that Tess uses, which is patterned after my character Sam Drake in Uncharted 4. So I got this lovely little memento from that.